Hello world, my name is Andy Silvers and today we're going to talk about AuthorTubers. So technically I qualify as an AuthorTuber, but what is an AuthorTuber? Well, it's basically a person who sells books and also runs their own YouTube channel. Popular AuthorTubers include Natalia Lee, Jenna Moresi, and Daniel Green. An AuthorTuber typically posts regularly and runs their own channel. They don't have someone who posts for them or controls their channel. Since YouTube is a fairly modern development, so too is the AuthorTuber. These people use the new billion-dollar platform in order to reach a broader audience. Most AuthorTubers, also called BookTubers, post videos about writing and publishing, but some don't. I post videos about writing, but I also happen to be a filmmaker and tech enthusiast, so I post about computers and filmmaking, and I have my video reel on the channel as well. My most popular video is about the HP ZBook and has over 5,000 views. So, is AuthorTubing worth it? Well, I think so. A lot of AuthorTubers are self-published. This means their publisher doesn't give them an advance that they can use for marketing. Being self-published means your visibility is your job. The biggest authors in the world, including Kristen Hanna, David Baldacci, and J.K. Rowling, don't have their own channels. They rely on their name to gain readers. But how did they gain readers in the first place? Well, they didn't have YouTube or Vimeo. Instead, they used their advance to cover marketing costs, which includes things like putting out ads, doing book tours, and creating newsletters and mailing lists. Nowadays, of course, these authors don't have to do any of that because their publisher will do it. In other words, these authors are just famous for being authors. The reality is that the internet is both the problem and the solution. It allows creators to reach a vast audience, which is great until every creator does it. Then your platform can get lost in a sea of people. To stand out, you have to be engaging and unique. First thing, AuthorTubers are doing something many writers don't do, putting themselves out there. Many writers consider themselves too artsy to engage with the business side of the industry. But if you want to be a bestseller, you have to do the work. AuthorTubers do the work by using a massive platform to promote directly to their readers. This is tough because it can be terrifying to be on camera, and YouTube comments are notoriously hateful. But in the age of the internet, an online presence is pretty much required. I would highly recommend that AuthorTubers take online marketing classes through a local college or a platform like Skillshare. You can be the greatest writer in the world, but without a business sense, you may not succeed. Is there any stigma attached to being an AuthorTuber? Sadly, there is some. There's a sense that if you're not signed with the Big Five publisher, that you're a failure. I felt that way in the past, but it's not true. Being self-published today is easier than any other time in human history. There's a really negative saying that says, "Those who can't do, teach." That is, of course, untrue. Those who can do and have a passion for teaching, teach. Not everyone can teach. It takes a special skill. I've heard a number of stories of college professors that I've had and friends have had who have master's degrees, doctorates, etc., who are experts in their field, but who can't teach a class to save their lives. So it's important to understand that if you're a writer who also cares enough to teach other people how to write, you're a very unique and, in my opinion, awesome person. I felt at times like I should be exactly like the authors that have come before. But 2021 is different than 1995, and so I will adapt. If YouTube doesn't work, I will try another platform. That's life. It used to be that you would apply for a job, say at a watch factory, and then you would work there for 50 years and then retire with a nice gold watch or something. But in the modern climate, that's just not how it works. You apply for a job, you work there for 2 years, and then you move here, and then you move there, and then now you're in another state, and then you get another job, and then you get a promotion at that job, and now you're moving here, and it's constantly shifting. Technology is evolving, the workplace is evolving, and writers have to evolve with it. And so if using YouTube as an online platform to build up an audience works for you, then you should try it. Be aware that you may not have 100,000 subscribers after 6 months. It does take time. And you have to look at what other YouTubers are doing and look at what the market generally is doing in order to find the best trends and, of course, to create new trends. You have to do things that are different, that are unique, and you have to be authentic. Authenticity is one of the most important things on the internet today. People will refuse to watch YouTubers and media personalities who feel fake, who feel like they're just selling you something or pretending to be something they're not. So, if you want to try YouTube, I believe it's worth it. It can be a challenge. It is, in some sense, a full-time job. But I believe that this new medium can be an enriching and worthwhile experience for self-published and even traditionally published authors. Please subscribe to this channel if you like this video. I have a contemporary fantasy book coming out in the next few months called Solomon Grando versus the Jupiter Witch. It's very timely and it's very exciting. I'm really excited to share more about that with you. Also, check out my children's novel, Red Sprites and Blue Jets, which has a 4.9 out of 5 stars on Amazon, and I'll see you in the next one.